Is that a dog I can hear in your background?
Yes, sorry.
Hello. So, FYI, hi guys. We are live. It's peak of the week. We have lovely, fabulous Mel here with us, with me. I always say us because it's normally me and Donna. But just FYI, dog in the background, as you can see. Dog in the background.
Yeah.
We've been joined when we did it with Zoe. The dogs joined us for the whole of the live. Interacted, they joined in, they wanted to get involved in the conversation. So, you know, if the dog's joining with the combo, guys, it's fine. We talk louder.
We go with the flow.
Go with the flow. So, yes, come and say hi if you are here with us. I'm very shiny when I sit at Donna's. Can you see the shine on my head and my cheeks? I think it's because she's got blinds in front. And if I turn the selfie light on, it gets even worse. So, I've got like angelic shine across my face. But yes, so yeah, let us know who you are if you're here, and thank you for joining us. So we wanted to like show up over the next couple of weeks as we build up to Wealth About the Hustle, and just bring some of our amazing clients along who have been on such a journey of transformation. And Mel is one of those, right, Mel? So just share with everybody like where you were when you met Donna and I, and like where you are now. It's so inspiring to hear.
Try and keep it short and sweet, but as Cheryl knows, I have a bit of a tendency to go on. But so yeah, where was I? I suppose my journey with Donna and Cheryl started just over a year ago now, and I was in a position where I'd had lots going on. We obviously, the year before we had the pandemic hit us. During that pandemic, I went through a marriage breakup. I went through the menopause and obviously the pandemic in itself. But what I've now come to realise, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, is that at the time, I thought that was the catalyst for what was going on. But actually, what I've now realised and discovered through working with Donna and Cheryl is that the histories go way before that. They were just some things that happened along the way that brought me to where I am today. And I can honestly sit here and say, however horrible they felt at the time, is the best thing that could have happened to me. So I came across, I was working in corporate at the time. And again, at the time, didn't realise I'd got all of these. I describe it a bit like a suitcase or boxes, where I'd got all of these boxes, or probably one big box in my mind. And whenever anything challenging came along, I tend to put it in the box, shut the lid, put it in the box, shut the lid. And there's only so many things you can put into the box. It's a bit like a suitcase. And I'm constantly sitting on the suitcase trying to shut it, and you're pulling the zips round. And eventually that box or that suitcase is going to ping open. So I think there'd been a lot of unneeded clothes in the suitcase for a long time, and then everything that happened during the pandemic was the catalyst for that box just to spring open, and everything came out. And that's when I
were lying on the floor on the road.
Say that again, sorry.
Your knickers were sprouting out.
Yeah, they were flung everywhere. There were bras over there, knickers over here, vests over there. It was a mess. So I crashed and I burned. I mean, it got to the point. So beginning of pandemic, we obviously were working from home. I then went through the breakup the later that year in the October, and I was wearing a mask. I've always been a people pleaser. Or I was a people pleaser. I do everything to please everyone else, and my reaction to how are you feeling, Mel, was always, oh yeah, I'm great, I'm fabulous. And that was just a mask over me. Inside, I was breaking. And all of a sudden the mask had to come away, and I was making big hooeys at work. It was affecting those boxes opening were affecting absolutely everything that I did. So took some time out from corporate and came across Donna and Cheryl. I got a random, it wasn't from Donna and Cheryl, but I got a random email, one of these sort of junk type emails, and the title must have grabbed me. And it started talking about imposter syndrome and do you have this, do you have that, are you wearing a mask, are you people pleasing, are you hustling and working all the hours God sends? And I was looking at it thinking, oh my God, that's me. So I got curious about it, and as you do, good old Google, was Googling it. And then one day on Facebook, there was this video that come up with these two amazing northern lasses and talking about exactly that, imposter syndrome, and everything they were talking about really hit something with me. And at the time they were going to be doing a challenge, which was a 5-day challenge called Self-Doubt to All Out. And that was the turning point for me, looking at, you know, understanding where you've come from, understanding your inner critic and that voice that's constantly talking in your head, that, you know, that your limiting beliefs, where the person you are today, where that stems from. So I did the Self-Doubt to All Out. There was the opportunity to work with Donna and Cheryl, and I had a discovery call with Donna. And the key question for me, which was sort of like a bit of a light bulb moment, Donna said to me, you know, how would you feel if you were sitting in the same position today in a year's time? And that was like, oh my God, no way do I want to be where I am now. And that's when I joined the Real You Elite.
But you joined the online program, didn't you?
Yeah, I joined the online program, started that, and then very quickly did the Real You Elite, because what had happened, and what I don't call myself this now, but what happened is I left corporate, had some time out because I needed to ground myself. I needed to decide what, you know, I wanted to do next. And then I became self-employed, but doing project work for the company that I was working for at the time. And I use that term. I don't use that term now. I don't use self-employed now, but I was self-employed. But I think there was always something in me, because I was doing the inner work, because I was digging through the rubble, that wasn't going to be my final destination. I knew there was something else out there for me, but I had to do that inner work to get to where I am today. So yeah, that's a bit of my background really.
It's so important to share, because, and this is why it's just so important to get like you and some of the other ladies on, because if you think like this is over the last couple of years, all of this has happened, right? And there'll be loads of other women out there who feel like the suitcase, they're having to sit on the suitcase and try and get the zip shut, and things are bursting out all over the place because it's just ready to pop. Like you say, it's ready to pop open. And I love that you then had an email, the universe sent you an email with these things, and you were like, oh, I recognize this. And then Facebook sent you another sign of, look, he's a free challenge. Why don't you go and show up? And you did, right? And this is the important thing. Once we start to find out about imposter syndrome and recognize where we're at, and that we're not happy, right? And we couldn't bear to think of having another 12 months in the same way. We've got to then do something about it, right? But some people aren't ready to, and that's okay, because it's all divine timing. But clearly it all just came together for you at a crux point of like, you can't continue the way you were going.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
So you don't call yourself self-employed now. So what do you call yourself now?
I'm a businesswoman. I own my own business, and I'm bossing life.
Oh, I thought I was at home then. I was going to pick up my little placemat that I bought from Mel, the Creative Gift Shed. I've got a placemat that Mel does in the house, in CEO of my life, right?
Yeah.
Which is what you are.
Absolutely. And I think that transition, I've only established that and recognised that and believe that probably in the last 3 months. The last year, I had a conversation with someone. I'll use this analogy. I used to do a lot of dancing when I don't think I've spoken about this in the group, but I used to do a lot of dancing on stage. And I think now looking back, because I've dug through the rubble, and I think now looking back, that was my outlet. When I was on stage, I was free. I was, I was good at it. I was free. I was on the stage, but the costume and the lights and all of that was my mask at the time. But that was the place that I felt free. I felt the real, authentic Mel. And I think what's happened over the last year, it is a bit like that. So I've been, I was on the stage, and for a long time, I was nervous to go for the auditions. So I didn't go to the auditions. I kept back and I kept small. I then started to go for the auditions, and over the last year, I've been, if you think of Swan Lake, I've been the Signet in the ensemble in the background, and for a little while I went that way with my head. For another little while I went that way with my head, and I pivoted because I've done a couple of different things whilst I was self-employed, and then I've gone for the big audition. I've gone for the role of Odette, the prima ballerina, the one with the really pretty tutu, pirouetting, looking beautiful. And I've become that Swan now. And that's sort of how I am the authentic Mel. And it's not the stage, the costume. It's not that masking anything. It is the real me. And I think a lot of people, it's the authentic. It was always in there, and that's what I say to a lot of people. A lot of people say to me, "God, it's a new Mel." I said, "No, it's not a new Mel. The Mel was always in there, but for so long, through different reasons, through my ex-husband, through my own mindset, a lot of it as well. A lot of it was me. It was just suppressed down, and all of a sudden, over the last year, from the work that I've done with you and Donna, it's releasing stuff, it's putting stuff to bed and being at peace with stuff, and it's trusting. I think I always would have classed myself as a positive person, a positive thinker, but I was a positive talker. I would say the right things, I'd be positive on the outside, but I wasn't feeling it, and there's a big difference, big difference.
Yes. So I love that. I love these analogies that we're coming up with. We've got Swan Lake and suitcases. Yeah, if you're just watching it now, go back and watch the beginning to try and catch up with what we're talking about. It's so funny. But I love that. I love that. You know that now you're on stage, you're in the lead role of your own life, and you are owning it. And tell everyone. So you were in corporate. You became self-employed, as you named yourself. You dabbled with a couple of little things, and now you've gone a bit pixely. I don't know if it's this internet or yours. Do I look okay? Is my internet?
Yeah, you look okay. I look okay on my screen.
Right, it's just a little bit pixely. It'll sort itself out. I can hear you okay. So hey, Sophia. So now you are in the lead role of your own life, playing the lead lady. So tell everyone. So you came out of corporate, you did a couple of things, and then what's happened in the last 3 years? You found your purpose, right? Which you knew was there.
Yeah.
You hid it from yourself and everyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you fully embrace it. So tell everyone what you're doing now and how you got to the point to just step into that role and chuck the ball.
So yeah, now I am the owner of a business called the Creative Gift Shed, which is, name says it a little bit, gifting, but a lot of sort of personalised gifting. I love giving presents, but I love giving presents with meaning. And I always was, I didn't want to give vouchers. I wanted to give something that meant something to someone and had that personalisation to it. So but I used to be very creative and make quite a lot of stuff. And I used to make quite a lot of stuff and give it to people when they didn't know that I was making it. So the work that I've done over the last year, where I've been digging deep, I always knew I had the creative side in me. I always knew I wanted to do something that was going to bring joy to people. And I wanted to put my creative skills, my business skills that I have got together, and And it just came in an epiphany, which came in a complete shock to Cheryl one day when we were in the group, because I just...
Oh, I don't know. Have I froze a Melford? I mean, oh, yeah, you're back. You froze. You had a lovely frozen face with your mouth open. I mean, it was beautiful.
Oh, very attractive.
Very attractive. So you had, you were on a call one day, weren't you, in the elite group, and all of a sudden, like, my jaw was like, what?
And I announced that I'm going to set up a business making the products that at the time I was making, and I'm going to sell them. And it lit something in me. I wanted to get out of bed every morning. I wanted to show people who I am and what I can do. And yeah, I've not looked back since. It has been life-changing. And I feel now, the last year or so, I thought I was doing what was right for me, and I was going through the motions, but again, I wasn't feeling it in here. Whereas this, I am feeling it in here. And it's evolving. I'm getting sales every day, which is amazing. I did a live in our group at the tail end of last week, and this is, epitomizes what Donna and Cheryl say about sort of putting it out there. Just put it out there, do the action, but put it out there and put the vibes out there. Be positive, genuinely positive, and put out there what you want. Do take the action in the background, and the universe will deliver. And I've had this vision in my head of how I wanted the business to look. More importantly, how I want the products to look, how I want them to feel, and I could picture them in my head, and I do that every day, visualizing. And last week they became a reality, and I've got real things sitting in front of me that 3-4 weeks ago, it happened quite quickly, but 3-4 weeks ago were just an image in my head. But because I took the positive action, I kept visualizing it, kept believing it would happen, and that was a big thing, believing it would happen. It has, and it's an amazing feeling, and an absolutely amazing feeling. And I feel more confident. I believe in myself. It's been life-changing, absolutely life-changing.
I love it. So find Mel. Do they just look up for you, Mel? Do they just look up Mel Carpenter?
No, they just put in the Creative Gift Shed. I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, the Creative Gift Shed. So all I'm going to say, people, if you want some of that, all of that Mel has, then she signed up herself out all out, and then she came to Wealth Without the Hustle, and look where she is now. So if you want to be the leading lady, if you want to be standing in the Swan Lake performance at the front with a beautiful tutu on,
pirouetting,
embracing you and your life, then we've still got spaces. Wealth Without the Hustle, it starts. We will be in Wealth Without the Hustle in 2 weeks' time. So it starts.
It's going to be amazing. Honestly, you will not regret it, because it's not just changing from your job's perspective, from a business perspective. It is life-changing. Everything that I've learned from Cheryl and Donna, everything that I've worked through doing the programs, it's not just impacted me from a business perspective, it's impacted on everything. It is all encompassing.
I love it. So guys, if you want some of that, then sign up. Wealth Without the Hustle, £97 for that.
No-brainer.
Do we think that it's worth the money? Just a tad.
I think so.
Do we think £97 is worth this that Mel has right now? Just a tad. So look, it's down to you guys. You have to say yes, right? It's got to be the right time. You've got to have, yes, Sophia's already signed up. It's got to be the right time. Hey, Donna. I don't know if Donna's actually sitting outside in the car. In our own house.
You're not allowed in yet. You're not allowed in.
Yeah. So yes, you've still got an opportunity to transform your life, right? To be this leading lady in your life, to be genuinely positive. I love that. So not just talking the talk, talking the positive talk, but feeling positive from your head down to your toes. 97 quid, right? So that's it, guys. We will be showing up with another one of our fabulous clients over the next week. But thank you so much, Mel. It's been amazing. I love that you shared the story.
Thank you. And I hope I hope it helps people, to make that decision, but to think about what they want from their lives as well, and know that you don't have to be that one in the signet in the background going like that. You can be the prima ballerina.
But we don't none of this. Prima ballerina. Love, love, love. And just ask yourself this question. If my life is exactly the same in 12 months' time, how am I going to feel? And if the answer is click the button. Right. Love you all. Thank you so much, Mel. We are signing off. Have a fabulous rest of your peak of the week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.